game. There's never to buy the game day program because you don't know half the players. 22 new players in all, virtually half the roster, and of course the new coaching staff led by Bill Belichick. Top it off with a brand new training facility, a whole new look here in Cleveland, coming off a 3-13 season, and really a mysterious look for them after the preseason.
Well, the reason they're such a mystery, I think, because they didn't show anything at all during the preseason. Talking about Cleveland, it was plain vanilla. No chocolate, no ice cream, no pudding, no nothing. And it was plain vanilla. And as a result, nobody knows what to expect. In fact, the Dallas Cowboys, talking to Jimmy Johnson, he said on the field just a minute ago, he said they didn't know what to expect, so they looked at Michigan State films, they looked at Virginia films, they looked at Giant films, preseason films, and they did that because the new staff represents the schools that I just mentioned. So they don't know what to expect coming into this game.
Well, it's the Cowboys and the Browns, and that mystery, Hank, will be solved in a matter of minutes as we start the season here at Cleveland. Welcome for the 36th consecutive year to coverage of the National Football League on CBS. There's a lot of enthusiasm in the air. I'm pleased this year to be working with the coach, Hank Stram. Hank, you got the program all rolled up. I've never seen you so pumped up.
I couldn't sleep last night. I'm so excited. I can imagine what these kids are doing and these coaches are doing here this afternoon.
What about the Cleveland Browns? 22 new players on the roster, new coach Bill Belichick. What do you expect we'll see out of them today?
I think we'll see a lot of Eric Metcalf, to be specific. I think that he's a great talent, he's a big play guy, and I think they'll feature him as much as they possibly can early in the game.
All right, the Dallas Cowboys missed out on the playoffs by one game last year. Some are saying this is a playoff caliber team this year. What do you think, Hank?
I think they've got a chance to do that. I really do. I don't know. They have to grow and develop and get better and better, do a better job with their passing game, but if they can do that, well, I think they've got a chance, definitely, to be in a playoff.
Dallas receives to start. Matt Stouffer kicks it. And on the return, it's James Dixon for Dallas. Straight ahead out to the 18 where he is swarmed under. Richard Brown on the tackle for Cleveland. A return of 17 yards. Troy Aikman, in his third season as the Dallas quarterback, comes onto the field to lead the Cowboys' new offensive coordinator this year. Indications are it'll be much more of an open offense for the Cowboys. Here's the way they set up front. Mark Tuane and Kevin Gogan. Mark Stepnoski is the anchor of that line. John Kisek and Nate Newton. And Jay Novacek, of course, the tight end. Emmett Smith in the backfield with Johnston at fullback. Wright and Irvin are the receivers. First down for Dallas from the 18. Right away, he flips it over to Emmett Smith. Makes one move to get out to the 22 and a 4-yard gain. Rob Burnett on the tackle for the Browns, and let's set that defense. There's Brown at one end. Inside, a rookie, James Jones. Frank Conover in place of Michael Dean Perry. We'll be seeing Perry later, but he was a holdout most of the preseason. There's your linebacking core. We should note Clay Matthews was put on the inactive list for this game just prior to kickoff. So Van Waiters will be starting, and Jock Jones in place of Clay Matthews. There's the secondary. Very much of an injury-riddled secondary for the Browns. We'll call it a gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Here's the pitch to Smith. First down yardage across the 30 for the second year back from Florida, who had a Pro Bowl season his rookie year. A gain of 8.
And I think we're going to see an awful lot of that running to the right side because I think that they feel very strongly and justifiably so about Nate Newton, the big offensive tackle. He's a good one, and he gets a good push off the line of scrimmage.
Jimmy Johnson, of course, last year's National Football League Coach of the Year, the first ever to get that distinction with a sub-500 record of 7-9, but 6-game improvement in the win column a year ago. First down, again it's Smith. Grabbed on the legs by Frank Conover. After a gain of 4.
I tell you one thing, Smith better run with the ball in the right arm when he's running to the right side instead of with his left on his left side. Pursuit coming from the inside is going to get a piece of that football.
Smith has had his hands on it the first 3 snaps. Irvin to the right, Alexander Wright to the left. 2nd and 6 for the Cowboys. Aikman near the first down yardage. It's Alfredo Roberts. Back up tight end, picked up as a Plan B free agent from Kansas City. A gain of 7. And they'll move the chains. Another Dallas first down, Hank.
You know, the nice thing about this offense is everything looks like it's going to be very quick. Things are going to happen very rapidly from a run standpoint and also a passing standpoint. A lot of quick, deliberate stuff like we've seen so far. And when they get the chance, they'll go up on top.
Robert stays in the game. 2 tight ends. Novacek coming out of the backfield in motion, the other. First down again. Smith this time up the middle. And a gain of about 3. Into the heart of that Cleveland defense.
Well, you know, they want to go right at that defense, get a good push up front. Plus the fact they're going to start from the I formation, which gives Emmitt Smith a lot of running room, good vision. He starts off to the right side, but I think during the course of the afternoon, we'll see him invariably start one way and then drift back to the backside away from right back into the pursuit.
Now the Cowboys with the best all-time opening day record. One time they had a 17-game winning streak on opening day from 65 to 81. Novacek on the reception, drives for the first down into Cleveland territory. Another set of downs coming up for Dallas after the 11-yard gain.
Now watch the quick drop of Aikman, very decisive. He knew exactly what he was going to do. He had some cushion there. Just right back in the pocket, releases the ball before anybody can get close. And that's what he's trying to get done here with his fast-paced, quick-hitting pass offense.
First down from the Cleveland 43. Double tight end set. Smith is the lone back. Aikman, longer route this time. Irving has it at the 25. He gets banged around, but a first down again for the Cowboys. It's a 17-yard gain there, Hank.
First of all, we get good protection. That's where it has to start. Then I think he runs what I call a skinny post, meaning the receiver is going to go right down inside the hash mark between the safety and a corner against the zone, and he puts the ball right there. That's a cylinder throw, a cylinder pass, Jim, meaning that he hits him right at the numbers, right at the body, no lead, no nothing, right at the numbers of the pass receiver.
First down, Emmitt Smith. Short yardage near the 20. Hit first by Frank Conover. Aikman is 4 for 4 to start the season.
And this is the way they wanted to start the game, talking to Jimmy Johnson. He wanted to get off and control the line of scrimmage and do a good job on first and second down. That's what they've done so far.
Frank Conover goes out for the Cleveland defense, and Michael Dean Perry now checks in for Cleveland. Second and 5. Smith with a sneaky 5 on that last run. On the pitch. Maybe a yard. Call it no gain. Harlan Barnett and David Brandon combine on the hit.
And Perry did a great job, number 92 at the right tackle position. Watch, he's got a stun on coming to the inside. He sees the ball's going outside, number 92. Look at the pursuit angle. Takes a good course, and he's right there in the event he would have cut back to make the play. Great pursuit by Perry.
That was his
number 92.
First play of the season, Hank, after holding out almost the entire preseason. 10th play of the drive for Dallas, facing 3rd and 5 from the Cleveland 20. Aikman rolling out. Sidearms it. Great catch at the 16 by Novacek. And they rule it now incomplete. Incomplete.
He was looking at, yeah, there was pretty good pressure here, but he was looking to hit the back and the flat. So he looked at him and no place to go. Pressure on the inside. Threw the ball downfield to Novacek, but it goes incomplete. A little bit low, but good pressure on the part of the Cleveland Browns.
Ken Willis will attempt the field goal now, 39 yards. You can see he had troubles on grass a year ago, only 5 of 11. Novacek on the hold. Kick is good. Excellent kick by Willis. And the Cowboys take their first possession of the season and drive it for a field goal. Well, the Cowboys keep the football for 6.5 minutes. A 39-yard field goal by Ken Willis. Dallas 3, Cleveland nothing. Joe Morris, a longtime veteran of the New York Giants, back to receive the kick. Now, of course, with the Cleveland Browns after being picked up as a free agent.
And he'll probably get a chance to receive this kick because Willis didn't have a touchback all last year.
Metcalf is also back deep with Joe Morris. Now, again, you're right, Hank. Only out to the 16. It's Metcalf on the return. Gets the corner for a moment. And near the 30-yard line, where Larry Brown takes him down. Time for Bernie Kosar to take the field for the first time in '91. 7th year out of Miami. Last year, the first season, he did not lead the Browns to the playoffs. Here's their offensive line. The Browns, Jones, Rienstra, Babb, the rookie Ed King, who they love, Dan Fike, and Bruce McGonigal, picked up off the waiver wire this week, is listed as the starter. Morris and Mack in the backfield. Webster, Slaughter, and Brian Brennan, the receivers. Of course, we'll see Reggie Langhorne. Browns' first play of the season from the 28. Metcalf in the game as a receiver. 3 in all. Kosar, short gain out to the 33-yard line. Caught by Scott Galbraith. Tight end. And now the Cowboys defense. Tony Tolbert, second season on the line. Tony Casillas, picked up in a trade from Atlanta. Danny Noonan and Jim Jeffcoat. Linebackers Ken Norton, Jack Del Rio in the middle, and Vincent Smith. In the secondary, Holt and Hendricks on the corners. Horton and Washington are the safeties. All the way up to the 35 on the progress. Second down play. Ken Mack wrestled down after a 1-yard gain by Tony Tolbert.
And that's a bad place to run because they had a double zone, meaning that the corner and the safeties went out to the outside, meaning there was 2 people on 1 on the outside. No place to run, no yardage on the play.
Well, they're going to give him forward progress on this one, Hank. And say he picked up 2, but it sets up 3rd and short situation. Kevin Mack just loves short yardage. They're lined up in the I. Mack is the fullback. Metcalf the tailback on 3rd and 2. Cleveland from its own 37. Brennan in motion. Off the play action. Kosar, man open. It's Galbraith into Dallas territory at the 48-yard line. A first down for Cleveland. A gain of 15 on the play.
That was a good call. It was a play action fake. Watch the play action fake. It wasn't a very good fake at all. He barely puts the ball in the pocket, but in spite of that, he had plenty of time to throw the ball. Good pass protection. Galbraith is wide open. They flood the zone. He's wide open on the sideline. Finally gets knocked out of bounds by Manning.
Kenneth Gant in as an extra cornerback for the Cowboys. First down for Cleveland from the Dallas 48. Out of the eye, they flip it over to Metcalf. Dangerous man with the football. Down the sideline, near the first down. They're going to mark him out at the 40. Got a nice block by Dan Fike.
He really did, and of course, Kosar did a terrific job of putting some air under the ball here and getting it right over the top of the defensive person and getting it over here to Eric Metcalf. Watch this, look at this. Good blockings up front, blockers up front. Fike is trying to knock him to the outside, but Metcalf goes outside and is forced out of bounds.
Eric Metcalf, a gain of 8. Kosar 3 for 3 on the opening possession. Second down and 2 for Cleveland.
Well, they got a lot of room receiving wise on the right side. He might be changing the play. Look, he got 2-on-2 over there.
Metcalf in the slot on the right. Mack near the first down at the 38. Jeffcoat and Casillas on the tackle. This is a Dallas defense that had a very great end of the season a year ago, Hank. Improved tremendously under coordinator Dave Longstaff.
And their pass defense was second in the league, which is incredible for the whole season last year.
First down for Cleveland. The Browns driving it on that Dallas defense right away. Here's the 6th play of the drive. Again, I formation, Mack and Metcalf.
Galbraith in the slot left. Sideline route. Kosar looking for Brennan. Oh, there was some pushing, and they call it on Kenneth Gant of the Cowboys.
Yeah, look at that. See, what happens is you see the shoulder in the back. That was definitely pass interference.
32-yard penalty, Hank. That'll put Cleveland at the 5-yard line of Dallas. Bob McElwee is the referee today.
That's the nice thing about throwing the ball deep. Even though if you don't complete it, there's always a chance for a penalty on the play like we just saw.
Slaughter to the left. Joe Morris now in the backfield for the Browns on 1st and goal from the 5.
Well, they got some running room on the right side.
Kosar spotted it also. Morris, with his first carry as a Cleveland Brown, picks up maybe a yard. Some story with Joe Morris, who set out of football last year after the Giants cut him just before the start of the season. The all-time rusher for the New York Giants.
Belichick always liked him and was in close contact with him, and we had the opportunity to become the new coach of the Cleveland Browns. Why, he put the vacuum sweeper out on him and sucked him right up.
Metcalf comes back in now for Morris on 2nd and goal. Play action. Kosar with time. Metcalf at the 2, and he is stamped at the 2. Vincent Smith smothered him.
Vincent Smith really took over that linebacker position last year against Atlanta. Last game, he's a permanent fixture there now, but he makes a great hit. Good pressure up the middle, but he gets it. Look at that shot he gets with the shoulder pads and knocks him straight back on his back.
Here's a look that Dallas will not have seen, I'll bet, all preseason long. Mack in the backfield with Leroy Ford. Leroy Sanz in tight as a tight end. 3rd and goal from about the 2-yard line, and Kosar calls time. He was in trouble with the down clock. The Browns will talk it over, driving, trying to take the early lead.
Look, the confusion a little bit on the last play. McGonigal is playing the tight end on the left side. Roussan on the right side as a wingback. But they got Farron, a tackle, number 74, playing the tight end away. And look at Crosby. He's upset about the situation, too. He's really upset, isn't he?
I'm telling you, Cleveland burns a timeout. But now they're back, ready to score, perhaps. 3rd and goal from the 2. Mack is the single back. Kevin Mack off the left side. Kevin Mack in for the touchdown. And look out.
Look at the blocks. Look at the blocks by Roussan, Fike. And the corner didn't wrap his arms around him, and that's why he was able to run through there and make the tackle. They had a double wing formation that time.
First-year place kicker Matt Stover, another guy with New York Giant connections. They'll attempt the point after. 7-3 Cleveland. Kevin Mack says, I live for short yardage and goal line situations, and he delivers here. Cleveland, 8 plays, 71 yards. They burn 5 minutes on the clock, and Kevin Mack gets the touchdown. The Browns scoring with the first time with the football this season.
And they really have a very impressive drive, wasn't it?
Great way to start the season for confidence anyway.
Oh, it really is. And of course, to believe in the program, and that's the big thing. You know, as a new coach, you got to sell what you're teaching, and they believe in it very strongly. They see clearly and believe strongly, and that's what it's all about, just like Dallas feels about their situation.
It's a pretty good breeze out on the field, Hank.
Yes, it is. A lot better, a lot more than you think it is from up here. Being down in the field like we were, it's very, very breezy.
Look at Matt Stover drive it through the end zone. He did have the wind at his back. Now, there was an altercation after Mack crossed the goal line, and the reason for the Mack attack was
face mask.
Yeah, momentary face mask that was not called. Derek Brownlow has a hold of him. You'll see the hands on the face guard for just a moment. And Mack retaliated, but no penalties called. Much of the noise you may be hearing as the game goes on is the roar of the Cleveland National Air Show that's taking place just a mile down the road. From the 20, 1st and 10, Dallas out of the eye. Play action. Aikman wanting to go long. Now repeats. Goes down at the 14. Frank Conover with the sack.
Number 94, Conover. We see him a play action fake, and Smith does not block him, and Conover comes through there and makes the tackle, makes the sack on Troy Aikman.
A loss of 6. 2nd and 16 for Dallas. Delay. Emmitt Smith stacked up at the 17. Again, Conover comes up with the play along with Harlan Barnett. That's a number of big plays already by Frank Conover, an 8th round pick, rookie from Syracuse.
And he's 6'5", 317.
Now he's replaced by Michael Dean Perry. Kelvin Martin comes into the Cowboys huddle. 3rd and 13 for Dallas. 3 receivers in the game. Novacek on a wing. They're blitzing. Aikman gets it away for the first down. Alexander Wright at the 33-yard line, and a Dallas first down.
And they were in man-for-man coverage, and the safety, Barnett, was blitzing on the play. And that's what, of course, Troy Aikman loves. He loves man-for-man coverage. Yeah, tremendous poise in the pocket. Look at the blitz coming through there. Johnson is blitzing up the middle. Newsom is coming through there from a safety blitz, but he gets rid of the ball nicely and hangs in the pocket extremely well.
So the Cowboys able to wipe out that first down sack and pick up the first at the at their own 33. Aikman pumped short, goes across the middle. Alfredo Roberts near the 40. It's a man who started 13 games for the Kansas City Chiefs last year, but again, the Cowboys able to grab him as a Plan B free agent during the offseason. Tackled by David Brandon.
Well, their tight ends are a very instrumental part of this passing attack, and there was an illustration on the last play. I think Dallas is a little surprised. I think maybe they thought they were going to get a lot more zone defenses. They're getting some man-for-man more than they normally would have seen with New York.
2nd and 3. Darrell Johnston with his first carry, about a yard shy of the first.
And talking to Belichick yesterday and the day before, I asked him specifically whether or not he will use a lot of zone just like they did with New York. And he said, we don't have the same kind of people, and so we're going to deploy our people in a much different way. Minifield and Claiborne are man-for-man people, bump and run, so we'll feature a lot of man-for-man coverage, and that's exactly what they're doing.
3rd and a yard to go.
Be a good time for a play-action pass.
Nope, they do not get the play away. The quarter ends with the score, Cleveland 7 and Dallas 3. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Kevin Mack touchdown run gives Cleveland the lead after one, 7-3. Jim Nantz along with Hank Stram. And we start the second quarter with the Cowboys at their own 42-yard line, facing 3rd and 1. Johnston and Smith lined up behind Aikman. Smith on right tackle, first down at the 45. Doubleheader day on CBS, and coming up next, most of you will see the Vikings at Chicago. The Bears have the longest opening day winning streak. They've won 7 in a row. Some of us will see the Phoenix Rams game that's coming up next after Cleveland and Dallas here on CBS. First down for the Cowboys. Troy Aikman, 6 out of 7 on the game, and he's hit 5 different receivers so far. Looking long. Emmitt Smith out of the backfield, led up just a bit too much. Had his fingertips on it at the 30-yard line. He ran right past David Brandon.
Yeah, that's the kind of a matchup they like, see, with Smith, and also, yeah, see, the safety or the linebacker in this particular case trying to cover him man for man, can't do it. The ball was just a little bit long. Brandon, the linebacker that time, trying to cover him.
Brandon, a surprise starter, beat out David Grayson, who was cut this week for the Browns. Dallas hoping to get Emmitt Smith much more active in the passing game this year. Here they run with him on 2nd and 10. And a gain of 4 yards. Tackled by Anthony Pleasant.
And the other thing is very obvious. When they run, they really want to run more to their right than to their left, for 2 reasons. Perry, the right tackle of the Browns, is all-pro, a great player, and they want to run basically because they like the blocking talent and ability of Newton. He's a terrific tackle, as I mentioned earlier, and they're going to run over him as much as they possibly can.
3rd and 6 for the Cowboys near midfield. Good protection. Aikman finds the man. First down. Kelvin Martin out of bounds at the Cleveland 35-yard line. A gain of 16 on the play, Hank.
And the key again is pass protection. They pick up the stunts nicely. The offensive line of the Dallas Cowboys. Watch this. Look at Giesick. Now look at 60 coming on the inside, and they pick him up very well. Look at, they squeeze off everybody. And there's Perry coming in late, but the ball is thrown. Excellent pass protection by the Dallas Cowboys.
First down from the Cleveland 35. Kelvin Martin, their leading receiver the last 3 years, with that grab. And Nate Newton jumped a little early. What a gorgeous day to start the season. At Cleveland Stadium, not a cloud in the sky.
It's been 90s early in the week. It's about 76 or so this afternoon. It's beautiful football weather.
Jim Nantz along with Hank Stram. What a quick first quarter that was, Hank. Cleveland had the football once. Dallas had the football just one time and was on its 2nd possession when the quarter ended. Now 1st and 15 after the penalty. Screen pass to Smith. Smith with 2 men on him at the 37-yard line, including Raymond Claiborne and Van Waiters. Just a 3-yard gain for Emmitt Smith.
And there again, that's the same play they ran to the right side earlier in the game where they didn't make much yardage because they were in a double zone again, meaning that you had 2 outside versus 2, a safety in a corner on outside people, and as a result, there was no place to go. The place to do business in that situation really is inside to your tight end or your running backs.
2nd down 12 for Dallas Cowboys, trailing 7-3, opening minutes of the 2nd quarter. 6 across the middle. What a catch by Novacek. First down at the 18.
I tell you, that was a great acquisition getting him from Phoenix. He is really terrifically outstanding. Yeah, he's a great seam guy. He has a great feel for the area. He starts to the, see, he's right in front of the safety, between the linebacker and also the corner. Good read. But the great thing about it is Aikman really hangs tough in that pocket.
First down for the Cowboys from the 18. Aikman swings it over to Smith again. Inside the 15. Driving inside the 15, out of bounds near the 8-yard line.
And what happened on the play, the linebacker on that side was jamming a tight end, concerned about him, which left Smith wide open on the outside, plenty of room, a beautiful touch. That kind of a pass you have to throw about a foot or a foot and a half out in front of the numbers so the back can just run right into the ball and not lose any stride. It was a perfectly thrown ball.
Emmitt Smith being used effectively out of the backfield. Now with 3 receptions for 20 yards. That's a first down for Dallas. First and goal from the 8. Stutter step move by Emmitt Smith. And he may have saved a yard loss to get back to the line of scrimmage. James Jones with the tackle.
And Pleasant, number 98, also came across the line of scrimmage from the defensive right end position and got good penetration.
What we've seen so far in this game, sustained drives by Cleveland and the Cowboys. The Cowboys with a new offensive coordinator this year. Norv Turner comes over from the Rams.
We talked to him before the game on the field, and he said that they were going to try to get the ball to Smith as much as they possibly could, and they've done a good job of it.
14th play of the drive for Dallas. Second and goal from the 7. Backpedaling Aikman. The ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage. He was looking again for Emmitt Smith, but a Brown defender got a paw on it.
So he got the hands up. Exactly what he did. He knocked the ball down. Van Waiters, number 50.
How about this drive, Hank?
Well, you got to be impressed with the poise of Dallas. You know, I think he got stunned a little bit with that long drive of the Browns, but they came right back with a lot of poise and moving the ball and moving the chains very nicely on this drive.
Slot formation to the right on 3rd and goal. Aikman looks left, throws left, corner of the end zone, batted away by Raymond Claiborne. Looking for Darrell Johnston.
Claiborne read it well. Troy Aikman made up his mind as he went back into the pocket that he was going to throw the ball to the left side, which he does. But Claiborne is right there to knock the ball down. A beautiful play by Claiborne. He has seen everything that there is to see in professional football over that 15-year span of time, and he played that ball extremely well.
Hank, he's the oldest starter, defensive starter in the National Football League, 36 years old. Raymond Claiborne making the play and forcing Dallas to attempt the field goal. 25-yard attempt for Willis. Kick is good. Field goal is good. 2 drives for Dallas. 2 field goals by Ken Willis. Browns lead it 7-6.
Why more people are winning with the heartbeat of America. Levi's Jeans for Men. And by Miller Lite. It's it. And that's that.
Two long drives by the Cowboys, Hank, but both times unable to get touchdowns, settling for field goals by Ken Willis.
Yeah, I'm sure Jimmy Johnson doesn't like that very much. He's glad to get the points, but you get that down there that close, you've got to take advantage of the opportunity. You've got to get 7.
Well, the Browns have had the football only one time in this game.
They've done a good job from a mixture standpoint, too, Jim. They had 4 runs and 4 passes, exactly what Kozar loves to do.
Look at Dallas, 16 plays on that possession, ending in a 25-yard field goal. And now Willis will kick away. He has the wind at his back. He said not a single touchback last year. Maybe he'll get one here, Hank. Metcalf, he'll run it out probably. Yep, 2 yards deep, Eric Metcalf. And the former Longhorn is wrestled down from behind at the 17. Flags everywhere. Bill Bates, of course, special teams man extraordinaire, helping make the play. And the penalty will be against the Browns return team.
Number 58, illegal push in the back on the return team. Half the distance. First down. Timeout.
Penalty called against David Brandon. And now Bernie Kosar will touch the football for the second possession from inside his own 10. Jim Nantz along with Hank Stram. And Hank, we talked so much before the game about the mystery surrounding the Cleveland Browns. Such a vanilla preseason for them. Didn't tip their hand at all. What do you think they've shown you so far?
Well, I think it's very obvious that when we talked to Billy Belichick yesterday, he said that, you know, they can't do what they did. And you have to give them a lot of credit for being smart enough to know that. We can't do what we did in New York because we don't have the same kind of people. And so we have to adopt what we're going to do, or adapt, I should say, what we're going to do according to what our people can do best. And that's exactly what they're doing. For example, they're not making Minifield and Claiborne play zone all the time like they did most of the time in New York. They're playing some man-for-man, some bump and run. And so that's what they do very well, and that's what they want to express here in this game this afternoon.
Cleveland will start this drive from its own 7-yard line. With 3 receivers, Metcalf lined up as a receiver, and Mack the single back. Mack meets Jeffcoat for a no-gainer. Now to summarize the game to this point, Cowboys total yards, big advantage. And Emmitt Smith very active already. 33 yards rushing, 3 receptions. Kosar perfect so far passing. 2nd down and 9. Bernie flings it over to Brian Brennan. Takes 1 tackle and then is tackled finally at the 12-yard line. Set up 3rd and about 4 for Cleveland. Isaac Holt able to put the finishing hit on Brian Brennan.
Well, Brennan lined up for the right side, started in motion to the left to see whether he would get man-for-man coverage or zone. Made a move to the inside, then gained back to where he started, broke out into the flat area, caught the ball, and made a nice gain in the play.
A rookie they're very high on at Cleveland. Michael Jackson has come into the game. He's number 1 coming to the near side. And Reggie Langhorne's in the slot on the right. 3rd and 5. Now we see the shotgun from Kosar for the first time today. Inside handoff to Metcalf. And Metcalf will not get the first. Tackled at the 14-yard line by Bill Bates, who comes in those nickel situations, Hank.
Yeah, they have 7 defensive backs. He comes in, plays the middle linebacker position. And what a great player he has been over the years, and especially teams. A very emotional player and a great addition to this football team from a leadership standpoint.
Brian Hansen's a new addition as punter for Cleveland. There's Kelvin Martin waiting to return for Dallas. Hansen must punt now into the wind. Fourth and 3. Low kick. Not very deep, but a favorable Cleveland bounce. It will finally settle at the 50. Given 36 yards on the punt. Dallas will start the next drive straight at midfield. You're looking at Eric Turner, the Browns' first-round pick, the 2nd pick overall in the draft. He was put on injured reserve this week with a stress fracture in his leg and will miss the first 4 games. The first pick in the draft, Russell Maryland, suited up for the Cowboys. We have not seen him so far in action, but we expect to today. There's the pitch to Emmitt Smith on first down from the 50. And he scoots for about a 5-yard gain. It's update time. Let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
Well, Jim, at Cleveland, big headache for new head coach Rich Kotite of the Eagles. Randall Cunningham hit on the left knee, suffers strained knee ligaments, and leaves the game on the first play of the 2nd quarter. Eagles are in the lead. Jim McMahon's the quarterback, Jim.
Can you believe that, Hank? Already Randall down with an injury. Second down to Dallas. All kinds of room. Emmitt Smith with the first down at the 36 of Cleveland. Vince Newsom tackles him in the secondary.
That time he runs over the left side of the offensive line of the Cowboys, and a good lead block out in front. That's really the play that made it happen. Smith jumps to the outside. Agee, number 34, was the reason that play was successful. Came inside and made a nice block.
Emmitt Smith now with 46 yards rushing on 11 carries. First down, Dallas at the 36. Aikman finds the seam. Alfredo Roberts rumbling inside the 20 and down at the 17. Harlan Barnett with the hits.
You know, the other thing that Dallas is doing a good job of, they're using a lot of motion, and they're getting man-for-man coverage, and they're forcing Minifield, who likes to play bump and run. He lines up on the right side, and when they go in motion to the right, then he has to run all the way across the field and eliminates the bump and run. Watch right across the middle, from left to right. There he is, with a strong safety trying to cover him on the play. He's a little late playing outside, and that's why that play was so successful on the inside.
Aikman threw it behind Novacek this time. Likes to use his tight ends. Rob Awald is on injured reserve for the Cowboys. Another fine tight end, but this Alfredo Roberts has come in with 3 catches so far today. Novacek with a nice grab earlier, set up a field goal.
And that time on that last play, they had Agee in the flat on the right side. It was Reedy wide open, but he didn't see him.
5 minutes, 9 seconds to go in the second quarter. 2nd and 10 for Dallas. Stepping forward, Aikman finds Irvin on the sideline. Inside of the 5. Michael Irvin with a gain of 12.
And what a good job by Aikman. See, that's the great thing about him. He's got an awful lot of poise in the pocket, and he's patient. He stood back there in the pocket, and he looked off, and then finally what he did, he steps up into the pocket. Look at Perry coming to the outside. A good block by Tuanay. He steps up into the pocket. That was the key. Is able to step into the pass very well. Good follow through and got the ball down to the 2-yard line.
First and goal for the Cowboys. Again in scoring position. Emmitt Smith. Maybe to the 2.
Well, that was good pursuit on the part of the Cleveland Browns. It looked like he might have a chance to get in there. Claiborne is down. Well, that's all they need. They have lost 4 defensive backs already. It would be something to have to lose Claiborne also.
Stephen Braggs has already put the helmet on and headed to the huddle for Cleveland. Secondary just decimated by injury. Eric Turner, we showed earlier. There have been others as well. We'll be right back. Raymond Claiborne helped to the locker room after an ankle injury. Hank, that's not pretty at all to see on the replay.
Here we see it right in here, right in there. And they roll right over the ankle, and he goes down, and it doesn't look good, as you mentioned.
Replaced by Stephen Braggs. Cowboys with 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. Tommy Agee's in the backfield along with Emmitt Smith. Great fake by Aikman. Novacek's open, touchdown Dallas.
Boy, you talk about a selling job. What a great fake on the play action.
Novacek, the man of many duties now, will stay in to hold on the extra point try by Ken Willis. Someone got a hand on it, but it goes right through anyway. Dallas 13, Cleveland 7. Aikman with the touchdown pass. We'll be right back. Jim Nantz and Hank Stram, the Cowboys 3 possessions, a couple of field goals, and now a touchdown pass to lead 13-7. Bill Belichick talking to his defense. Of course, the defensive coordinator for the New York Giants. The past couple of years. There's the look at the latest Dallas scoring drive. That excellent field position to start that drive, Hank, after Cleveland had committed a penalty on its last return. So that put them in a jam right from the beginning.
Yeah, it's always good when you have a short field to work on.
Short kick. Eric Metcalf from the 7. Now looking for a change of direction. Makes one move to get away. Cowboys take him down at the 18. Hank, take us through the touchdown.
And watch Bragg here. He's a new guy in the game. Now, Novacek goes in motion, and watch, he goes in motion with him. There you see him coming across the formation. Now, Novacek does a great job of acting. Look, he goes inside, and then he goes back to the outside, and he's wide open on a play-action fake. Smith's fake inside was excellent. Fantastic as far as selling people on the idea that it would look like it was going to be a run.
Cleveland starts this drive also inside of its own 20 from the 18. Del Rio putting pressure on Kosar. Incomplete pass to Brian Brennan at the 28. Isaac Holt deflected it away.
We see Holt facing to the inside, looking at the quarterback. They throw a quick slant inside. He reads it very well. The ball is thrown a little bit late, and he comes right through the receiver and knocks the ball down, keeps his left hand off the back of the receiver, and that's why there was no pass interference on the play.
It's Kosar's first incompletion. Second and 10, coming back on the draw. Del Rio with the first hit. Again, there's these thunderous tremors you may be noticing that are vibrating the stadium here. The National Air Show taking place about a mile away here from Cleveland. And so far, there's been quite an air show by Troy Aikman and the Cowboys, for that matter.
Yeah, there really has been. Of course, the thing that's impressive about it is that Aikman has really done such a good job of staying and hanging in that pocket.
There's Troy, 13 of 18 so far for Aikman. 3rd and 8. Back to the shotgun for Bernie. Flanked by Kevin Mack. 4 receivers in the game. Kosar will tuck it in, and he is down at the 25, short at the 1st. Again, Bill Bates makes the play on 3rd down. That's 2 consecutive drives that Bates has finished off the Browns with a play on 3rd down.
And the other thing about Bates, what a beautiful tackle it was. It wasn't a knockdown tackle. It was a tackle, a real tackle. He made contact, wrapped his arms around him, and knocked him down. Great technique on Bates.
2 straight times the Browns have had it, 3 downs and out. Now Brian Hansen to punt after a 36-yard punt the first time into the wind. Still into the breeze. Better boot this time. Kelvin Martin waves for the fair catch. And down by Brandon at the 47-yard line. Well, it measures only 28 yards. Well, the Cowboys and the Browns in Cleveland Stadium to open the season. The Cowboys with the best opening day record in the National Football League. Cleveland, for that matter, however, has won the last 3 years on opening day. There's Jimmy Johnson, pride of Port Arthur, Texas.
Talking to him on the field before the game, I said, what's the main thing? He said, we can't give it away. We can't not give it away. If we don't give it away, we'll be in good shape.
From the 47, play action. Aikman. Almost intercepted. Waiters had his hands on it. The intended target was Michael Irvin. Hank, the U.S. Open Tennis Championships ongoing. And tomorrow we'll have 5.5 hours of coverage from Flushing Meadows. A couple of good featured matches tomorrow. Jimmy Connors turns 39 tomorrow and will play in the 4th round against Aaron Krickstein. That'll be our featured match tomorrow back at the U.S. Open Tennis Championships.
Well, you love his competitive spirit, don't you?
You've got to. What a surprise he's been. Here's Emmitt Smith on 2nd and 10 in the Cleveland territory, about a yard short of the first. A gain of 9. Harlan Barnett's had to make a couple of tackles in the secondary today. So we've reached the 2-minute warning. Offensively, Dallas has scored on each possession. They're moving again.
This is when I love Great Nut cereal. I've been out here all morning, and I'm still going. Does your cereal beat it?
The man standing behind the glass is Norv Turner, the Cowboys' new offensive coordinator. Former assistant with the Rams, before that USC. Troy Aikman excited to have him. And so far, the Cowboys offensively looking very sharp here. Hank?
Yeah, they really are, and Troy likes him because I think the relationship has been very good from a study standpoint, plus the fact there's more flexibility from a passing standpoint, and they can run any pattern from any formation. They couldn't do that last year.
There's Emmitt Smith on 3rd and a long one, picking up the first. Down to the 41-yard line. Rob Burnett on the tackle for Cleveland. Smith on a 100-yard pace.
And Giesick over there, the right guard, who they got from the Raiders, and also Newton, the right tackle. They continue to run on that side and are getting a good surge from the right side, and they're making good yardage.
1st and 10. Clock running, 1:27 before the half. Aikman now rolling out of the pocket. Incomplete. Intended for Novacek. Novacek was the intended target.
He really has a great feel for where people are around him. He's a little bit like a center in a basketball team, you know, where he's always feeling, always knows where the guys are, and then he breaks away and makes the play and makes the basket. He's the same way as a receiver.
He throw it in there into high post and throw it back out again. He keeps a lot of things going for this Cowboy offense. Gives them a lot of alternatives. Aikman seems to be very comfortable knowing he's out there. 2nd down and 10. Emmitt Smith should have had it. Mike Johnson was right there with him. Coming up on the NFL Today Dockers halftime report, Greg and Terry will have all the scores and highlights and the latest information. Plus, we'll have a tennis update from Tim Ryan in the U.S. Open. But we'll look forward to the update now on Randall Cunningham with the injury with the Eagles here on day 1. 3rd and 10. 4 receiver set for the Cowboys. 1:11 before the half. There's Emmitt Smith. They crossed up the Cleveland defense and they pick up a 1st down at the 28-yard line.
There again, a perfect play against that defense with the receivers being double on the outside. The safety very deep in the middle of the area that's vulnerable. The void in that defense is right up the middle, and you got the good blocking up front. Watch the technique of the blockers up front. Look at a nice hole. It winds up being a trap inside. And he makes the most out of that run and gets the 1st down.
Emmitt now with 72 yards rushing. All of the Dallas rushing yards belong to Emmitt Smith. In his rookie year, he gained 937 yards. The NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year. The air show continues. But that last carry by Emmitt Smith put him over 1,000 yards on his career.
Well, the great Heat got to love this offense because now you have to worry about him not only as a runner but also as a pass receiver. Puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
Martin in motion. First down for Dallas. Aikman. Finally, the pocket collapses on him. That's the second sack for Cleveland. Rob Burnett this time.
Let's watch it collapse here now. Burnett, the left end, number 90. There you see Newton. Oh, Newton was trying to ride him to the outside. He came inside, and that's what happened.
Cowboys complete the pass for Irvin. And he goes out of bounds to stop the clock with 38 seconds left in the half. A gain of 19 and a first down for Dallas. Frank Minifield kind of went for the interception there, Hank. Good grab by Irvin.
And those are the kind of plays Michael makes. You know, he doesn't have fantastic speed, but he's got terrific hands, just a tremendous competitor, and he really makes things happen.
Great confidence. Always has had that. Former #1 pick, of course, from Miami.
And really, you got to be impressed with the offensive line, the way they're dominating that front four of the Browns.
Aikman comes right to the line and calls time. They have one remaining here in the first half. How about that turnaround of a year ago in year 2 of the rebuilding stage for Jimmy Johnson? They go from 1-15 to 7. A legitimate shot at the playoffs. But they couldn't get that W the last 2 weeks. How about the job he's done there, Hank?
Oh, I think he's done a tremendous job, and I think the big thing about it is that he's been very decisive, and hasn't been afraid to make decisions. Sometimes, you know, you get a little sentimental with players, and you're a little reluctant to make changes, but he's made wholesale changes, which is very obvious. I think he's got 34 new people since he's been the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, and that says a lot about what he's trying to get done, and I think his selection has been outstanding.
38 seconds left in the half. First down for Dallas from the 13. Aikman, post route inside of the 5. Michael Irvin. Stephen Bragg's on the tackle. That's near the first down yardage. And I believe the Cowboys, Hank, have called their 3rd timeout. They have indeed. 28 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, they got a lot of time with 28 seconds, but look at the quick passes now. Look at how quickly he backs right out of there, knows exactly where he's throwing the ball. He throws it inside on Braggs. The ball's up above his head, but he makes that catch. But the key is Aikman gets rid of the ball so quickly.
You know, they were so close to the first down yardage. They may have been able to save that timeout because they had to stop the clock for the measurement. But they called it anyway. Now Dallas cannot stop it with 28 seconds to go here in the second quarter, Hank.
No, they can't unless they intentionally down the ball just to get some more time.
Inches shy, but more importantly, the football rests at the 3-yard line. And it's, again, another sustained drive for the Cowboys. The 10th play coming up.
They have one thing. They've showed a lot of poise offensively, and I think the key is the fact that, you know, when they got behind, they didn't panic. They just went about doing their work like they planned to do it, and have done a good job with it.
Irvin to the right. Harper to the left. Rookie Alvin Harper from the 3. Aikman looking for Harper. He's a high jumper. Incomplete in the corner. This is a Another first-round pick by the Cowboys out of Tennessee, Alvin Harper.
And he's another lightning guy. He's got good speed.
Now, what do you do, Hank? On 3rd and inches, you throw it into the end zone and it's incomplete. You still would have had enough time to run another play, but it's 4th down. So, run or pass here, Hank?
3rd down and 1. I think they'll go ahead and throw the ball. They got enough time, though, 24 seconds. They might try to slam it in there. They got a good situation on the outside. They waited too long. They were a man short on the right side, and they let the guy get in there.
Aikman just throwing it to the corner. Touchdown! Michael Irvin, and what a job by Aikman to get that pass away.
Yeah, terrific job of getting rid of the ball very quickly. But they had an advantage, and they're lucky they got away with it because the corner on the right side was slow coming over to the right side. That's why the play was there, good from a passing standpoint. There to look at, he throws it right over the top, gets the flaps up in good shape, right over the top of the defensive back. Touchdown, Dallas Cowboys.
Mike Johnson came rushing in on Aikman, and he just had to fling it sidearm toward the corner, and again they beat Stephen Braggs. Willis adds the extra point. So with 19 seconds to go in the first half, it's now Dallas 20 and Cleveland 7. Michael Irvin had a big series on that drive alone. Michael Irvin.
Irvin caught 3.
Well, Minnesota and Chicago is our main doubleheader game. You know, the Bears in recent years are 19-2 in the month of September. I mean, you talk about getting out of the gates quickly. Although the Vikings pinned one of those 2 losses on the Bears. Phoenix at the Rams is a game some of you will see. But on that drive, Michael Irvin snared 3 passes for 32 yards and the touchdown. $11-play drive. That's now 3 drives for Dallas in double-figure plays. Time of possession way on their side. Here's Eric Metcalf from the 1. Second special teams tackle of the day by Larry Brown. And for the 3rd straight possession, Cleveland's inside of its own 20. But only 15 seconds remain here in the second quarter.
And of course, the great thing, you know, we talked about it earlier, but the great thing about Dallas is the way they're controlling the line of scrimmage with their offensive line and also their defensive schemes.
4 receivers in for Bernie. From the shotgun, they'll run it though with Metcalf, high stepping it past the line of scrimmage, trying to get out of bounds. Nice run by Metcalf, stops the clock with 8 seconds. A gain of 9.
And a good block downfield by, it looked like Langhorne. Brady came back and made a beautiful block.
Maybe the last play of the half. Kosar from the pocket. Pass incomplete. Intended for Slaughter. And still 3 seconds to go. (20-7) Dallas. 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals. Cleveland scored on its first possession. A Kevin Mack run. Side arming it over to Metcalf. Ball squirts free. And the first half is over with the score. Dallas 20, Cleveland 7.
It's the Cowboys leading the Browns by a score of 20-7. 2 touchdown passes for Troy Aikman in this game. And Terry is going to explain just how play action can help a quarterback.
Well, notice this is a 4-yard pass, but normally teams blitz from the outside and up the middle, which takes away all play action. But Novacek comes in motion, He'll come out in the flat. No one will blitz, giving Aikman time to get flow away. Everybody goes this way. Then Troy Aikman comes back to the right. Novacek is wide open out in the flat. But once again, the key here, no blitz, allowing the quarterback time to run play action. There's the play action. Now all of a sudden it's just Aikman, Novacek, the defensive back is trailing. And once again, if you blitz, you don't give the quarterback enough time to do play action. Cleveland didn't do that. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Halftime, Bill Belichick's going to have to devise a way to stop Troy Aikman. It's 20-7 Cowboys.
All right, Greg and Terry, thank you. Here, Troy Aikman's thrown 2 touchdown passes for the Dallas Cowboys. And the Cowboys lead the Browns 20-7. We'll come back and get set for the second half in just a moment. Well, you couldn't ask for better weather for a football day. No humidity, temperature in the low 70s, and the Cowboys happy so far with a 20-7 halftime lead. Hank Stram. And let's talk about some of the keys here from the first half. I know one thing you want to talk about is time of possession.
Well, you know, I think they've done a great job of playing keep away from the Cleveland offense. They want to keep that offense on the bench as much as they possibly can. Talking about Dallas, and they've done a terrifically outstanding job of that in this first half.
There you see the time of possession, more than double for the Cowboys. Mike Saxon has not even been used to this point, the Dallas punter. And how about Bill Belichick coming out with a few surprises, perhaps? Did you see any surprises? He didn't show anything during the preseason, Hank. Did anything at all shock you?
No, you know, really, they haven't had the ball enough to show many surprises. They've only had the ball 17 minutes. And
17 plays.
17 plays, I'm sorry. And so as a result, they really haven't been able to feature anything. Plus the fact it's very obvious. You got to just say that the offensive line, the defensive line of Dallas is doing a much, much better job. They're controlling the line of scrimmage, and that's where it all happens, up front. It's up front that what counts, and this is what's happening here this afternoon. They're winning the game up front.
You have to grade out very high Troy Aikman's performance so far, Hank.
Oh, it's fantastic. And again, as we talked about it during the course of the game, he's done such an outstanding job of hanging in the pocket, stepping up into the pocket, not panicking. And I think the key really was the fact that when they got behind 7-3, they came back with a lot of poise, and they just took the ball right back down the field again with another drive. And I think they're gaining more and more confidence with each drive.
Well, Kosar was a victim of poor field position in the second quarter. Had an excellent first drive when he led him to a touchdown, Kevin Mack scoring. But what does Bernie need to do here in the second half, Coach?
Well, I think really what they have to do is they got to get the ball. They got to get the ball back and be able to sustain some kind of a march. And they got to have halfway decent field position. It's very difficult to take the long drives every time you get the ball and try to get out of the soup. It's hard to get out of the soup, and that's where he's been, in the soup.
You think Cleveland can come back and win this game?
It'd be very tough. Very tough. I get the feeling. Sometimes, you know, at halftime you get the feeling. I get the feeling they came out with a lot of energy, a lot of excitement, a lot of emotion, a lot of animation. They're still playing very, very hard. But as the game goes on, the way they've been dominated, that takes the steam out of you a little bit. It'll be surprising for me to see them come back and win this game.
There again is Bill Belichick, the 39-year-old head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Said he had prepared a lifetime for this role as a head coach in the National Football League, and I don't think anyone expects him to come out and perform any miracles here in his first year. They know that Cleveland now is committed to rebuilding this team with 22 new players in all on the roster.
Well, there's never any mystery. It's always a game of people, and if you don't have as good a people as the other guy, why, you're in trouble. That's as simple and sweet as you can make it. Here's the first half possessions. Look at this. Own 29. This is Cleveland. Own 29, own 7, own 18. Their own 19. And one touchdown, punt, and the halftime. So they had bad field position. They didn't really have much of an opportunity to express what they really wanted to do from an offensive standpoint.
So they'll re-kick. Metcalf had attempted to run back the last one. Offsides against the Cowboys, so Dallas will give it another go. You talked about the leg strength of Ken Willis. He is still to this point failed to make one over 50 yards. This now the start of his second season in the National Football League, but great accuracy inside the 50. Still needs to get that length on his kickoffs, though, Coach.
Yeah, he does. He does have to do that. And I think talking to some of the people yesterday, they indicated that he's kind of psyched about anything over 50 yards. He kicks in practice, kicks him beyond 50, but in the game, he hasn't been able to do that.
Very short one here. Metcalf from the 27. Straight ahead to the 37. Darrell Johnston helped bring him down. There's Bill Bates in the pile also. Good starting position this time for Bernie Kosar.
The important thing now is that they have good field position. They have to take advantage of it and make something happen on this drive.
Identical score for Seattle and New Orleans. And let's see what the Browns have to offer here after the locker room lecture. Best starting field position of the day for Cleveland at its own 37. Good time for Bernie. He's got a man open. It's Webster Slaughter. Touchdown on the first play of the second half. Extra point try by Matt Stover. Good job by Brian Hansen, the holder. And it's now Dallas 20, Cleveland 14. Can you believe the way the Browns come roaring out of the locker room?
Boy, what a stunning play that was, and you couldn't tell for sure. Jim, it happened so fast you couldn't tell whether it was man for man, and Isaac Holtz didn't do a good job of coverage, or whether it was a double zone and the safety didn't come up. But how he was wide open on the play, like he ran out of the bleachers. We still can't see the coverage very well. There you see.
That's Holt back there, Hank.
Holt's back there. He beat him one-on-one. That's what it amounted to. He beat him one-on-one, and the key again was good pass protection. Look at the pass protection up front. Look at the right guard. He does a great job, number 68.
That's Ed King, the rookie.
Ed King, and they love him. He's about 320. They think he's going to be a 12-year player and be terrific.
Well, the Browns had 70 yards total offense in the first half. They amassed 62 yards on the first play of the second half.
Well, you talk about lightning. That happened fast, didn't it?
I can't believe it. That's a longer pass play for Webster Slaughter than any reception he had in all of 1990. Slaughter had not seen any action at all during the preseason. Still nagging tendonitis in the knee. Comes right out and scores a big touchdown here. Cleveland within 6. Here's Dixon for Dallas from the 1-yard line. Good run back. James Dixon to the 34. 33-yard run back for James Dixon. Troy Aikman, will he be able to answer that Kosar firework to start out the second half?
Boy, that's a shock when you go in at halftime and you control the game like they did in the first half. You think you got everything pretty much under control, and all of a sudden you get a big bomb like that one on the first play. Makes you scratch your head a little bit.
A.G. and Smith lined up behind Aikman. Right in motion. Nice move by Emmitt Smith. Sidestepping a defender, getting to the 35. That's a 2-yard gain. No, one reason why Aikman's been so effective, but let's face it, the Cleveland secondary has now 5 players out of action when you add Raymond Claiborne in the first half, out with an ankle injury. Eric Turner, Anthony Blaylock, Gash and Harper are out for the season. And now Claiborne, so they've lost 5 defenders in the secondary. Second and 8. Aikman going long. Incomplete, intended for Michael Irvin. Stephen Braggs makes the play this time.
Man-for-man coverage, and Braggs did a good job of covering Irvin on the play. There you see him. He's with him step for step. Turns when he sees the receiver, looks for the ball. Good position. Great coverage by Cleveland.
And Irvin took his hands away to prevent an interception. 3rd and 8 for Dallas. Flooding the right side. Flag down, intended for Novacek. Flag down in the area of Aikman.
Looked like holding penalty on the play. I couldn't tell for sure what it was.
It is a holding penalty. You know, there's a new
66 offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
There's a new in the grass rule this year for quarterbacks in the NFL, Hank.
Yes, it is. And of course, if a defensive player is attacking the quarterback and it makes a shot on the quarterback, just one guy, why then they don't call that. They don't call that roughing the quarterback, but in the event there's other people close by in a position to make the play, then of course they call that roughing the passer. And
or the grass rule where the quarterback's jeopardy has to be, quarterback's health has to be in jeopardy. Here's Saxon for the first time today. Metcalf on the return. Near midfield. The dog pound has come to life. So have the Cleveland Browns. They have possession now with 13:19 to go in the 3rd quarter. Well, the momentum certainly has changed here in the 3rd quarter. Cleveland with a 1-play drive for a touchdown, a 62-yard touchdown pass to Webster Slaughter. And then the defense held, bringing on Mike Saxon, the Cowboy punter, for the first time today. And now the Browns are back near midfield. Touchdown and an extra point away from taking the lead. Metcalf lined up as a receiver on the top of your screen. Slot formation to the left. Mack is the single back. Again going long. Kosar looking for Michael Jackson, incomplete. Knocked down by Kenneth Gant, who had been flagged for an interference call in the 1st quarter. That pass maybe just a little bit underthrown, Hank.
it was, and he was lucky. He had his left hand on the shoulder of the receiver, so wonder they didn't call it. I'm surprised they didn't. Here we see, watch this now, watch the coverage, watch his left hand, see it? See his left hand in his back, and they didn't call it. That was a bullet there.
Yep, 2nd and 10. Michael Jackson was the receiver, rookie from Southern Miss. It can be electrifying. Draw to Metcalf, able to stumble forward for a 3-yard gain, right at the 50. Ken Norton took his knees away.
I'm surprised that Metcalf hasn't run anything at all outside. Everything he's run, and he hasn't run very often, but he's run inside. He needs space because he's got such great movement and terrific speed.
Jennifer Capriati won today. That's Tony Trabert's pick to win the women's tournament. He's now in the round of 8. 3rd and 8 here for Cleveland. 3rd and 7 make it. No receiver in the area. Langhorne got his feet tangled with Manny Hendricks. Maybe a miscommunication as well with another receiver, Michael Jackson. So the Browns will punt.
Well, that was a big series for Dallas. To be able to stop it with that field position like it was.
One thing we should know, Cleveland has the wind at its back in this quarter. Kosar threw the bomb for the touchdown with the wind. Dallas will have the wind advantage in the final stanza. Hanson takes it away with pressure. This can be down near the goal line. It is. Mike Oliphant. They're going to down it, however, at the 9. They're going to say at the 9. Cowboys with a 20-14 lead will have the football starting now at their own 9-yard line. For a moment, we thought it would be at the 1, Hank, but here's what happened on the punt coverage.
Yeah, he touches the ball there, you see, on about the 9-yard line, and then it rolls down on a 3, but it has to be put back down on the 9-yard line because they touched. That's where he touched it.
Stephen Braggs touched it. Oliphant thought he had it marked at the 1. Cowboys' worst starting position of the day from their own 9. Emmitt Smith will be called on here. In the dust for 2. And here is the lineup for week 2 on the National Football League. It all gets started at 12:30 Eastern Time with the NFL Today. And here's the slate of games. Most of you will see the Rams against the Giants. Some will see Chicago, Tampa Bay. The Hank Stram Bowl, the New Orleans Saints at Kansas City. You coached them both, Hank.
Yeah, that's
Green
right.
Bay against Detroit. And again, the NFL Today starts it all off at 12:30 Eastern. 2nd down and 8 for Dallas. Emmitt Smith still on his feet. Able to break the tackle of Frank Minifield, and all the way out across the 20 for a first down is Emmitt Smith.
Now here again, the linebacker on that side is jamming the tight end. It leaves the flat wide open. Look at a good move he makes on the inside. Still got the ball in the wrong arm. He's lucky he's been able to get away without fumbling the football, but does a great job of running through the traffic and taking up yardage on the play.
That was actually Minifield with the tackle. Brandon and Harlan Barnett let him get away. First down for Dallas. Tommy Agee near the 30. Some good yards inside for Agee, who had his best statistical game in last year's opener at San Diego. Gain of 6 for Agee. 10:45 left in the 3rd quarter. Dallas 20, Cleveland 14. Second and 4. Countering with Emmitt Smith. Gets away from Barnett again. And near the first down.
Boy, he makes
Shaky tackling, though, too, Hank.
Does a terrific job. You watch him and you think he just stopped, and the next thing you know, he gets out of the pile and comes out the other end, and he makes good yardage on the play.
Could have been stopped for a loss of a yard, perhaps. No gain.
Yeah, he stretched a loss into a gain. That's exactly what he did.
Going to measure for the first. So Emmitt Smith, 18 carries, 79 yards. First down for Dallas. You know, last year in Smith's rookie year, anytime he got 20 rushing attempts, 20 or more, the Cowboys won. They were 5-0 when Emmitt Smith had at least 20 rushing attempps. Means they're controlling the ball offensively. He's again now with 18 attempts on his way to surpassing that mark. Aikman zips it at the 50. Dallas into Cleveland territory. Michael Irvin again.
He threw a frozen rope that time. And again, pass protection was Pass protection was terrific. Watch the pass protection on the play. Perry trying to get an inside rush. It gets knocked back off. Doesn't get in. Nobody gets any penetration. Look at the follow through. It throws the ball like a pitcher in baseball. He's able to follow through and get the ball right on the money.
20-yard gain for Dallas. Operating at the Browns' 46. Smith, Michael Dean Perry swings him down near the 50.
Talk about penetration. Got a good jump on the ball.
Michael Dean's about to have his own hamburger named after him, I hear, Hank.
He looks like he's been eating a lot of them, too, doesn't he?
You don't think they'll call it a McLean, do you?
Imagine he just came into camp the other day, started practicing on Wednesday.
A loss of 4 on the play, 2nd and 14. Great play by Perry. Oh, Aikman almost picked off by David Brandon. Was going for Alfredo Roberts.
Okay, Brandon's a good linebacker. He got good range, good speed, good reactions, good tackler. He looks like he might be a better linebacker on the weak side consistently, better in space than he would be on the tight end, but he's a good player.
The Cowboys, or a Cleveland defense that not only is decimated in the secondary, but missing the leadership today of Clay Matthews, who was inactive for the game with a calf injury. 3rd and 14. Dumping it underneath to Emmitt Smith. He will not come close to the first. James Jones on the tackle.
Well, the defense is playing with a lot of inspiration, a lot of emotion. They're back in this game. They're just one play away from being back in this game and ahead in the game.
From the 44 of Cleveland, Mike Saxon in. Brennan standing at the 15. Try to nail it inside the 20. Throws it up high into the wind. Bill Bates, who else? Special teams captain downs it. They'll say at the 15-yard line. Cowboys by 6. So Webster Slaughter covering 62 yards. Dallas had led 20-7 at the half. First down for Cleveland from its own 15. Fake to Mack. Kosar rolling out. It's Eric Metcalf bouncing off a 1 defender and out of bounds near the 24. Give him 9 on the play. Finally knocked out of bounds by Ken Norton.
I like that play because I think Kosar throws so much from the pocket. You always expect him to be at that area 5 or 7 yards behind the center. When he moves it a little bit, why I think it creates a little bit of a confusion as far as the defensive rush is concerned, and he gives himself a lot more time to throw the football.
Let's give him 8 on that play, making it 2nd down and 2. Kevin Mack across the 25. That's good for a first down, I believe. Let's see where they spot it. First down for Cleveland. Michael Jackson, number 1, 6th rounder, Southern Mississippi. Wide to the left. Galbraith in a slot left. 1st and 10 for the Browns. Dumping it off to Mack. Mack out of bounds near the 29. Jim Jeffcoat. Danny Noonan was putting some pressure on Kosar, forcing him to just dump it off to Kevin Mack.
Yeah, Jeffcoat that time was wrestling with the tackle, got caught inside a little bit, but reacted extremely well and got to the sideline, got a piece of the tackle.
Seattle coming back on the Saints, like Cleveland on Dallas here. 2nd and 7, 5:42 to go in the third quarter. Kozar to Jackson. Oh, can't hold on. Ray Horton was by his feet. That was perhaps one nifty move and one catch away from breaking it for a touchdown, Hank.
Yeah, watch Jackson coming off the ball on the right part of your screen. There's Isaac Holt coming over to get a piece of him, ran right by him. And here comes the safety. Bad concentration. Should have made that catch. Had a great chance to make that play.
3rd and 7. Shotgun time for Bernie from his own 29-yard line.
Blitz.
Here comes Bill Bates. Pass away to Metcalf. First down for Cleveland. Wrestled from behind, down by James Washington, but a Cleveland first down.
That's the great thing about Kozar. He reads and anticipates blitzes so well. He gets rid of the ball quickly, and Metcalf kind of sneaks right out of the backfield. There you see him. There you got him coming across the line, coming across the field from one side all the way over to the other. And he makes the catch and a big play and a first down.
Mark it at the 44. 1st and 10 for the Browns. Metcalf in a slot as a receiver. Mack in the backfield. Good protection. Bernie finds Slaughter at the 50. And into Dallas territory at the 48-yard line.
Talking to Jimmy Johnson yesterday, he really has tremendous respect for Kozar. And that was one of the things he said yesterday, was that we really have to keep him on the bench as much as we possibly can, because he reads and reacts so well to what he sees, and very rarely ever throws the ball to the wrong guy. And that's exactly what he's done in this third quarter.
Jimmy knows him well, that's for sure. His first year at Miami was Kosar's last year for the Canes. They had an 8-5 year. 2nd and short. Here's Joe Morris inside the 45, fighting for the first down. Good run by Little Joe. First down for the Browns.
And he's been a great inspiration to us other players on this team. The players talked about how he comes to the training camp every day. There about 7 o'clock, does a lot of weight work and a lot of extracurricular things, getting ready for practice. They can't believe that a guy that's won 2 Super Bowls, wears 2 Super Bowls, works so hard.
Another new set of downs from the Dallas 44.
Look at all the room on that right side, the right corner.
Bernie rolling that way. And a completion to Galbraith at the 36, maybe the 35. Tripped up by Ray Horton. A gain of 9.
That was the soft spot of the defense, and that's exactly where they went.
Ozzie Newsome, surefire Hall of Famer. Over 600 receptions on his career. Retired at the end of last season. Pleased to see, I'm sure, a tight end now trying to fill that massive hole that he leaves. Galbraith coming in with the reception on that one.
Look at the right side again.
2nd in the yard. Mack backing in for the first, near the first. Horton again in on the play for Dallas. Ozzie Newsome. What a career Ozzie Newsome had, Hank.
Oh, he's fantastic. And now, you know, the reason Michael Jackson is there is because he went to scout. And we're supposed to look at 4 or 5 other people. And in the process of searching, why Michael Jackson came over and asked him if he needed any help. He filled in and ran some patterns. And next thing you know, he came back and told the Cleveland organization they better draft this guy because he's a great-looking prospect, and they drafted number 6.
Now working as a special assistant to the Cleveland Browns organization. Certainly a favorite here in the city of Cleveland. Top 5 all time, in fact, in the NFL. There's 662 receptions. First down for the Browns from the 34.
Look at that right side.
On the reverse. Off the wing, they brought Morris around, but he is tripped for a loss. Jim Jeffcoat forces the play, and it's again time for an update in New York. Back to you, Greg Gumbel.
For the Philadelphia Eagles and their fans is not good. On the first play of the second quarter at Green Bay this afternoon, Randall Cunningham hit by linebacker Bryce Paup. He suffered 2 torn tendons in his left knee, torn ligaments, and he will undergo surgery tomorrow, and Randall Cunningham may be out for the rest of this season. Jim?
That's a shocker, and that certainly changes the entire complexion of the NFC East right away. Second down play after the loss on the reverse. Kozar going to Matt. Oh, could he hold on? No, incomplete. Well, Russell Maryland has seen some action on this series. Cleveland Stadium for the opening game, September the 1st, opening day in the National Football League. Not a sellout here today. About 70,000 in attendance. Dallas with a 13-point halftime lead, but the Browns driving and trying to score a touchdown to take the lead. 1:08 to go in the third quarter. 3rd and 12 pass play to Slaughter. Tackled at the 28. That's about 4 yards short of the first, but puts them into field goal territory.
He's performing a little surgery out there, the way he's throwing that ball around to different people. Kozar, and the big thing about it is they got no pressure on him whatsoever, Jim. He's got plenty of time to throw the ball.
Hank, quickly a comment on that Randall Cunningham injury, perhaps out for the year for the Eagles.
Boy, that's a terrible blow. Richie Kotite, new first-year coach. And as much as they depend on him, you know, he does so many things for that offensive scheme. McMahon will have to carry over for him.
45-yard attempt. Matt Stover's first field goal attempt is wide to the left. Wide to the left. And Dallas leads by the score of 20-14. And we certainly don't need any AC here. Low humidity, but the Vikings always like to have a little AC with them. Anthony Carter, you'll see him coming up next. He's caught passes now in 80 consecutive games. The Vikings and the Bears, a Central Division matchup, a key one here in Week 1. Most of you will see that coming up next on CBS. Final 20 seconds of the third quarter. Jim Nantz along with Hank Stram. Cowboys with the 2014 lead. First down for Dallas from its 28. Emmitt Smith. Gain of about 4. Mike Johnson, the middle linebacker, on the stop for the Browns. And that will run down action to the end of the quarter. The only score in the quarter, again, the first play of the second half. The long touchdown pass to Webster Slaughter. We've got a good one brewing for the final quarter. Dallas will have the wind, and with the score, the Cowboys 20, the Browns 14. Our coverage will continue after this message from your local station. You are watching the National Football League on CBS. Well, the Cleveland defense has come to life in the second half as well. Dallas will start the final quarter with a 2nd and 6 from its own 32, leading 20-14. Aikman, sideline route. Michael Irvin. And Van Waiters takes him down at the 44. First down for the Cowboys. Jimmy Johnson talked before the game, Hank, to the two of us about how critical he felt it was to have the wind in the final quarter, and he's got it.
Yeah, he emphasized that several times during that discussion, and he's got exactly what he wants. The only thing about it is kicking. I don't know how his kicker's going to kick Willis from that infield if they get down there, if they have to kick another field goal.
Hardest place in the league to kick. statistically proven, too, this field. Aikman now takes a timeout. Looked across the line and called a time. 14 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the final quarter. Dallas left with 2 timeouts. Bill Belichick has a chance to pull out a victory in his first game. The 39-year-old coach of the Browns. His father, a longtime football man, also was a coach at Navy for 33 years. Grew up in Struthers, Ohio, and says his dad used to take him to practice watch the Browns practice when he was a little boy. So he's, in a way, had a long-time affiliation with this franchise, and now he is the man in control on the field.
And along with that, you know, with his dad coached, he coached for 30-some years at the Naval Academy. He grew up in that coaching environment. He used to break down films for his dad to help him from a scouting standpoint.
You know, in the military background, Hank, too, the discipline they've had here in Cleveland.
Yeah, there's a relationship there, no question about that.
Dallas with a 1st and 10 on its 44-yard line. Aikman warning to go long. Novacek reaching up. Makes the catch.
Boy, did Aikman take a hit that time. Watch Aikman. He really gets a shot. A very poor play-action fake there. Stops, has to stop short because of the containment on the outside. And look, it's Pleasant, number 98, really gives him a shot in the back of the helmet.
The 2 ends got him, Pleasant and Burnett. But how about the catch by Novacek, his second brilliant grab of the game? Good for 20 yards and a 1st down at the 36 of the Browns. Van Waiters read that play and takes down Emmitt Smith for a loss. A loss on the play of 3 yards. Look at the pursuit by Van Waiters.
Watch number 50 coming from the backside now. Look at this. He got a free shot. Nobody touches him, and he gets him from the backside, gives him a horse collar job, and makes the tackle. I think Dallas has to throw the ball more on 1st and 10. They're getting some room on the outside, and they're running inside. I think they can throw the ball outside and make some big plays.
13 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the game. The Cowboys lead by 6. 2nd and 13. Backpedaling is Aikman. Deep drop. Urban across the middle. Good block for him. Down the sidelines and out of bounds near the 15. Novacek helped free him.
That time we see Irvin on a crossing pattern. Here you see him lined up on the left side. Makes a good move. There he comes across the traffic all by himself on a crossing pattern, wide open. Braggs has him man for man, chasing him across the field, but he gets knocked off in a big play for Dallas.
Irvin now with 8 receptions for 116 yards and a touchdown.
They're going to keep pumping the ball up. They're doing a good job of pumping it up and keeping the ball moving with the pass.
Terrell Johnston comes into the backfield, offset with Emmitt Smith. Lead block for Smith. And down near the 10, a gain of 6 yards for Emmitt Smith.
That time they got out of man-for-man coverage and played double zone, and so they had a little running room. He got a lot more out of that play than I thought he would.
Well, the Saints led Seattle 20-7 at the half. Now the Seahawks lead 24-20.
Well, what a surprise that is.
Second and 4. Cowboys at the 11. Smith. A loss on the play. Van Waiters' second tackle for a loss on this drive.
I tell you, the way they're keying Emmitt Smith, any kind of a misdirection play where you fake to him and roll the other way, he'd have an awful lot of people wide open. They're all keying on him. He's back there by himself. Watch Van Waiters, the number 50, playing off the block in good shape. He comes across there and makes the tackle. Bates is also in there.
3rd and 6 for the Cowboys. Irvin near the 5. That's a first down for Dallas.
Yeah, Branch, look at this now. Braggs is up, bump and run. See, Rose Adam breaks to the inside. I don't know how you can cover any better than that. The ball was thrown perfectly, right between the numbers, right between the 2 8s. You can't cover him any better than he covered him on the play.
10:45 to go in this game. Cowboys with a 6-point lead. Aikman moving in on 300. He's hit his last 5. First and goal from the 5. Ernie Logan stacks them up at the line of scrimmage. Emmitt Smith.
Tackle by Mike Johnson, Vince Newsom.
Logan, who made that play, number 97, rookie from East Carolina. Now coming out of the game, he was picked up on waivers from Atlanta on Tuesday. Young defensive front for the Browns. Second and goal. Cowboys move. They should whistle this play dead immediately, and they do. Emmitt Smith a little jumpy out of the backfield.
Number 22 in the offensive backfield. Before the snap, 5 yards.
It's another rule change this year. As soon as anyone anticipates the snap, they whistle the play dead immediately. They don't run it out anymore.
No, that's a good rule too, because you save a lot of time. Plus the fact, you know, why run a play and then let the play run and have a chance of somebody getting nicked on the play too. It's a good rule, good change.
Dallas's best drive of the second half, after 4 pretty impressive ones in the first half. Now it's second and goal from the 10. Emmitt Smith looking for the corner, gets the block, but a flag is down. Flag is down. It's going to go against the Cowboys.
Well, that was a nice read by Smith. Good block up front.
Holding, number 88, offense, 10 yards, still second down.
Well, at first glance, you could see that Urban had secured the side for Smith, but he did it illegally.
Watch Urban, 88. Coming inside, getting a position on Minifield. And he's got his hands on him, grabbing him. Now he pushes him in the back. No way in the world is anything but a penalty.
They step it off from the point of the infraction around the 6-yard line. So now it's second down and goal from the 16. Aikman lobs it up toward the end zone, and Braggs had great coverage on Urban.
Yeah, they double covered him that time. They had him inside, outside. Newsom was there from the inside, Braggs on the outside.
I think the Cowboys had it first and goal at the 5 at one point. Now they'll face third and goal from the 16. You have the 6-point lead. Any kind of score gives you the 2-score advantage, and the Browns would have to go into the win to try to come back into this game. So you don't want to take yourself so far back that you put a lot of pressure on Willis at this point.
No, you're right, exactly.
Novacek in a slot to the right. 4 receivers in all for Dallas on third and goal from the 16. They counter with a run. Emmitt Smith down to the 4.
Oh, he is something. He breaks so many tackles, it's unbelievable.
It's a gain of 12. Will put Smith near 100 yards for the game. And it'll bring out Ken Willis. 97 yards rushing for Emmitt Smith on the day. 26 attempts. Kept the football right in the middle of the field. He'll have to kick out of this dirt. Will Ken Willis. 2 for 2 today. Dale Palestre will snap to Jay Novacek. 22-yard attempt from second base. Kick is good. Willis a perfect 3 for 3 today, and the Cowboys now lead by 9.
And the new ES300 Sport Sedan. New Sure Pro Stick deodorant for men. The Pro works overtime every time. And by Wrangler, comfortable jeans for men.
23-14. The Cowboys got that 2-score advantage by netting out a field goal on that drive. 23-14. 8:34 to go in the contest, Hank.
This is a very important kick for Dallas. They've got to get the ball deep. They got to keep him down there in that territory and get him in the soup, because a return would be naturally very beneficial for the Cleveland Browns.
Joe Morris to the left. You see Eric Metcalf to the right. Metcalf returned 2 kicks last year for touchdowns. Metcalf kind of misgauging this one. Takes it on 1 bounce at the goal line. Not good field position. Dallas backs him up at the 15. Derek Brownlow on the kickoff coverage for the Cowboys. Mentioned that Kosar played his last year collegiately at Miami for Jimmy Johnson. Johnson's first year coaching the Canes. And one of the losses that year for Kosar and company was the Doug Flutie Hail Mary pass. And
that's right.
One of the great games in college football.
And then, of course, after that year, he took 2
national championship teams at Miami. Yep.
Right.
Shotgun time on 1st down. Ball batted in the air and incomplete. Hank, let's summarize this game so far as we're nearing the midway point of the final quarter. Cowboys with a total yard advantage, almost double, in fact. And Michael Irvin with some impressive numbers today. 2nd down and 10 for the Browns. Kevin Mack zigzagging, bulldozing his way near the 20. 3rd and about 5 coming up for Cleveland. Jim Jeffcoat and Jack Del Rio combined on the hit.
Jack Del Rio really likes playing that middle linebacker position, too. He's gained about 15 pounds during the offseason and loves it inside.
Came back from a knee injury, in fact, he sustained at the end of last year. 3rd down play. Incomplete. Manny Hendricks on the coverage. Pass intended for Brian Brennan. And the Browns will have to give it up.
And Brennan doesn't drop many like that very often. Great play by Manny. Terrific.
Into the breeze, Brian Hansen will punt. Kelvin Martin for the Cowboys standing near midfield. Isaac Holt's tough on the punt blocks for the Cowboys. Had one last week preseason. No pressure this time on Hansen. Martin drops the football, but gets it back. Falls on it at his 47-yard line. There is a flag down back in the area of the line of scrimmage.
1st down. Timeout.
Penalty refused. Cowboys have the football with 7:36 remaining in the game and a 9-point lead, 23-14. Cleveland Stadium, right in the heart of downtown Cleveland. Comeback City, doing some wonderful construction downtown. Improvements. Speaking of improvements, the Cowboys a year ago improved by 6 games in the win column. People are looking for a possible playoff berth this year, opening up right now with a 9-point lead and the football here in the final quarter. Emmitt Smith standing in bounds at the 45-yard line, a gain of 6.
Well, they're going to try to take as many ticks off the clock as they possibly can, which is obvious, and they got a good start on that by running again to the right side over Newton.
Emmitt Smith now is Over 100 yards, Hank. 27 carries, 103 yards. That's his 4th career 100-yard game. So Smith over 100. Michael Irvin has caught passes for over 100 yards. And Aikman is approaching 300 yards passing. 2nd down and 4. Novacek in motion. Playing with Smith. Jumping near the 1st down, perhaps just a yard shy. Rob Burnett on the tackle. .6:30 remaining in this game. Bill Belichick last week in the final preseason game did not dress 12 players for the game against the Vikings, including 6 starters like Bernie Kosar, because he didn't want to give the Cowboys, again, anything to look at on film before this first game.
Yeah, plus the fact that he wanted to make sure they were all healthy for this game. That's the other reason he did that.
Well, he lost Mark Harper in that game against Minnesota. Another secondary setback. 3rd and a yard. And Nick Smith decides to go outside for it. Picks up the 1st down at the 38.
Yeah, Novacek, you know, he's an interesting guy to watch because he does things very easily. He doesn't really watch him here now. He goes in motion. He's got to block that outside linebacker. Look at, see, he's out there, you know, he gets in front of him, gets a piece of him, knocks him to the inside, and he's able to jump outside. Nothing, you know, not a slam hit or a tough hit. It was just getting the job done. Very bright guy, very obvious the way he plays.
Had a big day so far today. Led all tight ends in the National Football League last year with 59 receptions. Look at that, Cowboys 25-9, Hank, at 1st downs. Got another 1st down to operate with here. Smith getting a lot of work. They'll give him 4 on the carry to the 35-yard line. Mike Johnson with the initial hit.
He made a good fill that time, the middle linebacker, number 59, Mike Johnson of Cleveland.
Cowboys' next game will be a Monday night affair against the Washington Redskins from Dallas, from Texas Stadium. And again, the NFC East, the dynamics of this division have changed today with the injury of Randall Cunningham, perhaps lost for the year for the Eagles with a knee injury. Surgery coming tomorrow for Randall. 2nd and 6. Tommy Agee with a hard-earned yard or 2.
And Mike Johnson.
4:25 to go in the game. Clock is running. Cleveland will face not only Jimmy Johnson and the Cowboys this year, but other teams from the NFC East. They'll play at the New York Giants. What a game that will be for Belichick later this month. 3 weeks, in fact. And Washington and Philadelphia also on the Browns schedule. Here's 3rd and 4 for Dallas from the 33-yard line. Swinging it over to Smith. Oh, and they read that play. Rob Burnett was there. David Brandon, number 58.
And that was not a screen. That was just a dump-off pass, thinking that he had a chance to get it to Emmitt Smith with the idea of getting a one-on-one situation and trying to get as much yardage out of the play as he possibly could. But they pursued very, very well, got the inside angle, and made the play.
A loss of 2 on the play, Hank. And now the Cowboys will have 4th down from the 36-yard line, and they're bringing out Ken Willis, who will try to get his first career 50-yard field goal. Coming up later today now, in fact, less than a half hour away, Minnesota at Chicago. 2nd game of our doubleheader. Most will see that one. What a key game that is for the 2 teams. Minifigure will be the best in the NFC Central Division this year. Some will see the Rams game, however. The Rams against the Cardinals.
It's going to be interesting to see what Minnesota does this year. They've got a very talented football team, and for some reason or other, they never are able to express that talent. They feel good about what they're doing so far, and it'll be interesting to see how they fare against the Chicago Bears.
Be interesting to see what happens here with Ken Willis.
And you always have to be worried about a blocked field goal in this situation.
54-yard attempt. 0 for 4 in his career from 50 yards. This one is long enough. The kick is easily good. That's a kick that may pay dividends later in the season for a young man who some had said in the Cowboy organization was having a mental block with the kicks 50 yards and longer. He gets one from 54 yards today, Hank, in the first game.
Boy, he got the flaps up on that one in a hurry and got it right through there. Then he hooked up the radar, split the uprights. Boy, what a big kick.
4 for 4 for Ken Willis today, and the Cowboys now lead 26-14. 3:38 remaining in the contest. That ties the Dallas Cowboys record for the longest field goal in franchise history. That ties Tony Fritsch from 1972. Here it is.
He's got to be happy about that one. You know, he was kicking very well before the game too. Watching him in the pregame warm-up.
Kicks it to Metcalf, and there's a touchback, Hank. First one of his career. Follows up the 54-yard field goal with a kick deep into the end zone.
Wind does make a difference, doesn't it?
He does have the wind at his back, no question. Jim Nantz along with Hank Stram from Cleveland Stadium. Opening day in the Browns, down by 12 with 3:32 to go in the game. 2 Aikman touchdown passes, 4 field goals by Ken Willis. There's a flag on the field.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 55 on the return team after the play was ended.
So that'll back the Browns to the 10-yard line. Jock Jones committed that personal foul. Kosar, I'm sure, will operate from the shotgun now. Yep, he steps back. Flanked by Eric Metcalf. 4 receivers in the game. Metcalf scampers out near the 27-yard line. It's a 22-yard gain, or 17-yard gain.
Metcalf's got great knee action too. You see how he brings up those knees running down that sideline.
Long jumper in college, NCAA champion Eric Metcalf with the long jump. How about the long jump championships at the World Championships this week? Isn't that something? You know, Carl Lewis was a Dallas Cowboys draft pick in 1984, 12th rounder.
That's right, he was, wasn't he?
Yep. Never came out for the team. There's a completion to Langhorne near midfield. Complete at the 47, a gain of 20.
Kosar is really fun to watch because he doesn't make many mistakes. He gets the ball to the open guy most of the time.
Right now trying to hurry things along. Langhorne will come out of the game. Lost a contact.
It's lucky he found it.
Okay, now under 3 minutes to go. Near midfield. Browns down by 12. Sideline man is Michael Jackson. Kosar's moved them quickly now. They're to the Dallas 40-yard line. This drive started at the Cleveland 10, so they picked up 50 yards. 2:35 to go. Clock running.
There again, if they're not putting much pressure on him, and justifiably so. They're just trying to get the ball in front, take as much time as they possibly can, and go home.
Other side, they go to Slaughter. Out of bounds near the 30. About a yard shy of the first. Cowboys giving them a lot of room. Kosar picking them apart on this drive. 2:21 on the clock. Browns with 2 timeouts remaining. This guy number 1 coming to the bottom of your screen was a long jump champion. In fact, himself, Metro Conference champion, Southern Mississippi. From the Dallas 30, Brian Brennan bumped out of bounds after making the first down catch at the Dallas 22.
Kozar or something, isn't he?
He really is.
No pressure on him, and he's just dunking the ball out there to the open guy.
And anytime you can move the football like this and you're an onside kick away, look out. Kevin Mack, the single back. First down for Kozar. Dumps it short. Mack near the 15-yard line. Kozar would like to get one more play off before the 2-minute warning. He's not going to make it.
And Kozar did a great job on the last play, looking to his left, saw it was faded, came right back to the right side and got the ball completed.
Mack was banged up on that play. We'll check it out when we come back. Kevin Mack injured on that last reception. Got his foot caught underneath the defender. Joe Morris is now in the backfield. 2 minutes to go. Cowboys lead 26-14.
Look at the flanker on the left side. He'll throw it out there, I'll bet you.
Second down and 4. Across the middle. Flag is down on the play. Pass caught by Metcalf. And back up the Browns with a holding penalty. Now, Hank, again, we have the replay of the injury on Kevin Mack a moment ago. Take us through it.
Yep, here we go. He makes the catch, makes a move to the inside. Watch Bates come in there and hit him. And look at his left foot. Looks like it got turned. You couldn't tell for sure what happened. Here's another angle of it. Look at it. There you see how it turned as he hit the turf.
Yep.
It's got to be an ankle injury to the left ankle.
With the holding penalty, it's second now and 14 from the Cowboys 26. Going short, Joe Morris. Oh, but one man got him, Bill Bates. He had blockers ahead of him. Could he have gotten away from Bill Bates, it would have been a big gainer.
You see the way Kozar threw that ball around the rushing lineman on the play, sidearm, and got it to him.
Right. Now he's got to move quickly. Third and about 17 to go. Under a minute and a half left. Batted down. Danny Stubbs. He got his hands on it.
Yeah, it was kind of a control rush. Watch him now, number 96, the left defensive end. Look at this. See, he's reading it. He's under control, and he kind of now, watch him, he jumps up and knocks the ball down. Great play by Stubbs.
4th and 17. The Browns, of course, have to try to keep possession. Needing 2 scores. Stubbs. First sack of the game for the Cowboys, and that will end the hopes for week 1 for the Cleveland Browns.
And one thing about Cleveland, they didn't lose their poise out here this afternoon. They got battered pretty good up front, but they still kept coming back. And then, of course, the third quarter bomb, the first play of the third quarter, got them back in the game. But overall, as we talked about at halftime, this Dallas Cowboy team, I think, is a good, solid, strong team, and they had the advantage here this afternoon. They took advantage of it. And I think you have to win the games you're supposed to win, and they won this one because they should have won the game.
It's like Nate Newton was telling you. We really need to get this first win under our belts with the NFC East games we have coming up. Emmitt Smith. Cowboys just running out the clock now. Tonight on CBS, just 2 Sundays to go before they start a brand new season. Meanwhile, more of your favorites tonight on 60 Minutes. And while they're at it, they want to say thank you for being so loyal all summer. 60 Minutes followed by Murder, She Wrote, and then the CBS Sunday movie, Her Wicked Ways. That's tonight on CBS. Oh, a timeout called on the field by Cleveland. Just to stop it. And there's the fine gentleman who, of course, owns the Cleveland Browns, Mr. Art Modell.
Well, he's very excited about Bill Belichick. I know he's disappointed he lost this game this afternoon. I know he's scratching his head a little bit, but I think he feels good about the future of this football team under the direction of Bill Belichick.
Smith maybe loses a yard off of his 100-yard total today. And the Browns take their last timeout. Smith, 32 carries today, Hank, 112 yards.
And he got better and better as he went along in the game, too. And that's what happens usually. You know, talking to all the great backs, I asked them how many times they have to carry the ball before they think they're in the flow of the game. They all say 10 to 15 times. And they get better and better, and they're better in the fourth quarter than they are in the first because they get a good flow and a good feel for what's happening.
For Emmitt Smith, that's a career high in rushing attempts by 8. His previous high, 24 carries in a 100-yard performance last year against Phoenix. 3rd and 11 for Dallas. Tommy Agee, good gainer. And by the way, while that's I mentioned a career high attempts for Emmitt Smith, that ties the Dallas Cowboys record for most rushing attempts in a game. .30 seconds remaining. The clock is running. That 32 carries was by Calvin Hill against San Francisco back in 1974. So that ties the record. Willis ties Tony Fritch's record for longest field goal, 54 yards. Cowboys will take a delay of game penalty here.
And the Cowboys are really happy to get this under their belt because they didn't know what to expect. We talked about that a little bit at the outset of the show. But he's going to be tickled to death this whole operation to get back to Dallas with a big W.
Well, Jimmy Johnson will keep his perfect record intact against former University of Miami quarterbacks who played for him. He'll be now 4-0. 2 wins against Testaverde, a win against Walsh at New Orleans, and now a win against Kosar. Metcalf back deep. Saxon to punt for Dallas. Side of his foot. And 3 seconds remain. One chance for Kosar to throw a pass up into the air. They mark it at the 43 of Cleveland. 22 new players on the roster for Cleveland. Talking about half the squad, brand new.
And how about the changes at Dallas? 34 since...
In the 3 years Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson's been there. Boy, that's a lot of folks coming and going.
Cleveland next week will play at New England against another team in a rebuilding process with first-year coach Dick McPherson. 3 defenders standing back at the 20-yard line for the Cowboys to close out the game. Michael Jackson with a reception, tackled at the 44-yard line, and the Dallas Cowboys open up the season with a victory. '39-year-old Bill Belichick, his team feeling very enthusiastic about the chances ahead for this season, but a loss today 4 field goals by Willis, 2 touchdown passes by Troy Aikman. Jimmy Johnson of the Cowboys off and running for the 91 season. We'll post it now officially. 26-14. Dallas a victory over the Cleveland Browns. The Cowboys in the second half, 2 field goals from Ken Willis, 4 overall. And what about that Cowboys offense that had 4 great drives in the first half and another big drive in the second half that ended up in a field goal?
Well, they have to feel very good about the fact that this is the first time they've really, in league competition, they had a chance to express that personality from a passing standpoint. And I thought they have to feel very, very good about the run-pass ratio. They wanted to come into the game with the idea of keeping the ball away from Cleveland and away from Kozar as much as they possibly could. They stayed with the plan, even though they got behind early, you know, by the 7-3 score. But they maintained the game plan, and I thought just did a great job with it.
People talking about Dallas making the next step. And now with the Eagles today, losing Randall Cunningham, it appears for the rest of the season with a knee injury. What about Dallas in the NFC East, Hank? Look ahead.
Well, I think if they continue to play like, as we talked earlier, as they continue to grow and develop and have confidence in what they're doing, I think they've got enough good people to really fight hard and get a chance to get into the playoffs. I really believe that about Dallas. They've done a good job of selecting players and choosing the players. And, of course, coaching is 3 things, you know, accumulating talent, assessing talent, and making that talent win. And I think they're on the right road to getting that done.
For Bill Belichick and the Browns, what kind of season you see them having?
I think it's going to be a struggle. I think they're going to fight hard. They're going to play hard. But I think anytime you have Kozar, you know, milking the cow and playing quarterback, well, you always got a chance. But I think Bill has to feel good about the effort that he got from his team today.
All right, Hank. Great to be with you. So for Hank Stram, this is Jim Nantz saying so long from Cleveland Stadium, where the final score was the Dallas Cowboys 26, the Cleveland Browns 4.